He'll come tomorrow morning. He said he'll be more better off tomorrow. He's in a great hurry to go somewhere. And I said, that will be good. Sit down. Why to have video now? Very want to have. Let's have some informal stuff.
No, we don't want video.
This is the ones that are so helpful to people, Mother.
You sure?
Yes, Mother. These informal talks are the ones that really help for people around the world. You do night.
You can sit in the night there.
Pardon?
You can sit in the night. Hampstead what?
Oh yes, we can see that. My request was, Mother, would it be possible to film these informal talks, because they're the ones the informal ones like this.
Well,
now.
It's very, very informal.
Is it?
I feel better without
okay,
the
then.
lights. All right. Now. I hope you have understood what I said this morning. I think that must be seen again.
Yes.
Repetition, it's very beautifully interwoven, but something very, very important and vital. Now, whatever I've said is this mental projection is the main thing you have to understand. Where's Gregor? Has to translate. Just translate. Mental projection, about mental projection. That's the main thing I feel you all suffer from.
Donc, comprenez que la chose dont vous souffrez le plus, c'est cette projection mentale.
Like the, see, we always have an inquiry. Inquiry about spiritual life, what is this, what is that. Mother, tell us about this, Mother, tell us about that.
Nous avons
The dancers
Huh?
come.
Have come now. So tell them that we have started the meeting. Somebody, all right. Tell them come in there. Tell them we have started the meeting. I mean, they should have been earlier here. Somebody should go and handle them. That Mother has started it. If they can come in, let them come inside somewhere. They can sit down if they have come in.
Ray, could you receive them?
Let them come.
Tell them that they are coming late and therefore we already have started our...
All right, doesn't matter, but it's all right, they can come in. Let them come inside. आले का? या. काय झालं की आम्ही मीटिंग सुरू केली पण काय हरकत नाही या बसा बस या.
There are some seats there for them.
It's all right. बसा या बसा बसा. वाट बघत होतो आम्ही तुमची.
मला मिळालं नाही.
हो हो कठीण आहे ना. बसा बसा बसा. They couldn't find the road. Please basa basa basa. Sit down, sit down. हा आमचा आश्रम आहे. हा बसा. Hello.
I like these.
आरामात बसा आरामात इकडे बसा. नाही काय हरकत नाही. हा सुरत असाल मला वाटलंच ते. ते लोक बालक प्रयत्न करत होते तुमचे आणि मी म्हटलं की ते त्यांच्याशी जरा बोलून घ्याल म्हणून पण तर त्याच्यानंतर बोलून घ्या तुम्ही. हां माझी इच्छा होती की तुमचे प्रोग्राम वगैरे बाहेर अरेंज करायचे असले तुमच्या मंडळी आलेली आहेत बाहेरून त्यांच्याशी जर आत्ता तुम्ही बोलून घेतलं तर होऊ शकतं नाही का. गेलं म्हणजे मग सुटतं ते हातात. तर हे झाल्यानंतर मग प्लीज सिट कम्फर्टेबल ऑल ऑफ. Have some water. Ask them to
Can we get some water, please?
and tea for all of us if it is possible.
आपण चालू द्या प्रकारे
हरकत नाही ना. हां
squeeze up as much as possible, please, so that
Everyone here moves.
जास्त लोक आहेत सगळे बाहेरून आले. Children can be taken out
Mother has asked that the children be taken out, please.
for a while. For a while, both. Only the crying ones.
They're crying.
Otherwise, all are children. Nobody will remain here. Including Warren.
Yes. Sorry, I'm just begging.
हाँ हो गया.
आप शुरू कर लीजिए.
Now, what I was saying about mental projection is that we live on our mental level all the time. As I gave you an example, that supposing you have to go to a picnic and mentally you prepare yourself, you plan. With that planning, you think you have done the job. And when you go to the picnic, you find you haven't taken anything because you have written down everything, you have planned everything, it's all finished. It's in a mental way, it's done, but actually it has not happened.
Mataji dit que nous vivons toujours par l'intermédiaire de nos projections mentales, et elle rappelle l'exemple du pique-nique qu'elle a donné, n'est-ce pas, où en préparant le pique-nique, en le planifiant, en fait, on ne réalise pas la chose, et lorsqu'on est effectivement parti, on a oublié toutes les choses à la maison.
In the same way, our spiritual inquiry is also a mental projection.
De la même manière, notre recherche spirituelle est une projection mentale.
Like some people can ask why God has created us,
Certaines personnes peuvent demander pourquoi Dieu nous a-t-il créés?
why He has created this universe,
Pourquoi a-t-il créé cet univers?
why there is misery.
Pourquoi y a-t-il de la misère sur Terre?
But we don't realize the inquiry comes from the area where there is ignorance. It comes from ignorance. The inquiry comes from ignorance, not from knowledge.
Mais nous ne réalisons pas une chose dans notre fierté de poser des questions, c'est que les questions viennent de notre ignorance, non pas de notre savoir.
And that's why this inquiry, if it is answered, it is a darkness answer to darkness makes no difference at all. It can never solve the problem.
C'est la raison pour laquelle une recherche qui part de l'ignorance ne peut que aboutir à l'ignorance, ça ne résout jamais le problème.
For example, to a blind man, what's the use of telling what color is this cloth?
Par exemple, pour un homme qui est aveugle, à quoi ça lui sert de lui décrire la couleur de cette pièce de textile?
Better thing is to open his eyes,
Le mieux, c'est d'ouvrir ses yeux.
and then he should see for himself.
Il verra lui-même la couleur.
Or else, like some Sahajogis, he can close his eyes again and ask questions again, what color is this cloth?
Ou bien il peut choisir la démarche de certains Sahaja Yogis qui consiste à refermer les yeux et à reposer la question quelle est la couleur de cette.
As a matter of habit,
C'est une espèce d'habitude.
I cured a blind man in India.
J'ai guéri un aveugle en Inde.
And many a things he could only tell after closing his eyes. Most surprising.
Et un grand nombre de choses, il ne pouvait les dire qu'en fermant ses yeux à nouveau.
Because he could feel with his fingers that's the habit he has developed, and he would not use his eyes.
Car il avait développé une habitude tactile de sentir avec ses doigts et il n'avait pas l'habitude d'utiliser ses yeux.
And same thing happens to Sahajogis, that after realization, when your eyes are open, you have seen the light, still you put your mental projection into action and try to understand everything through your mental activity.
De même, après Sahaja Yoga, vous avez une nouvelle catégorie de perception, un nouvel instrument, vous retournez à votre vieille habitude de saisir la réalité par la médiation du mental.
So one must know that any inquiry that comes is coming from a person who has not known.
Comprenez que si vous demandez, c'est que vous ne savez pas.
Once you have known, then what is there to ask?
Si vous connaissez, quelle sera la question qui reste?
Kabira has said, Mast hue fir kya bole. When you have become one with God, then what is there to talk?
Une
Or what to
Kabira,
ask?
Kabir a dit une fois que vous êtes un avec Dieu, quelles sont les questions qui demeurent?
But the mental projection is such a dangerous thing that it always keeps you away from reality.
Mais la projection mentale est un artifice si dangereux qu'il vous maintient toujours éloigné de la vérité.
It's a vicious circle
C'est un cercle vicieux
and you cannot break it.
et vous ne pouvez le briser.
So best thing is, first of all, you get your realization,
Donc, tout d'abord, recevez votre réalisation.
you become an aware person, enlightened person,
Vous devenez une personne consciente
and then see for yourself, experience it.
et ensuite, voyez pour vous-même, expérimentez-le.
Now say if you want to ask a question, say even if you want to know about me, you just think, let us think about Mother's Kundalini. See what happens. You become thoughtless. Just see that. No thought. Dragar can translate.
Si vous voulez poser une question sur moi, qui est Mataji, mettez votre attention sur ma Kundalini et vous verrez, il n'y a plus de pensée, vous ne pouvez pas penser.
But this is only because you are realized souls. If you are not a realized soul, still you will go on inquiring about it.
Mais ceci est parce que vous êtes des êtres réalisés. Si vous n'êtes pas réalisé, vous continuerez à vous poser des questions mentales à mon sujet.
If you understand this subtle point, then you will not be satisfied with your mental inquiry.
Si vous comprenez ceci, votre démarche mentale ne vous satisfera plus.
These days it is a big fashion in the elite society to talk about God.
Aujourd'hui, c'est devenu un passe-temps mondain dans les milieux comme il faut que de parler de Dieu.
If not God, they will talk about something divine and something spiritual when they are drunk especially.
S'ils ne l'appellent pas Dieu, ils parleront de quelque chose de divin, du yoga, de spirituel, spécialement quand ils sont un peu givrés.
Especially when they are confused, they don't know what spirits they are talking about.
Spécialement lorsqu'ils sont confus, ils ne savent plus de quels esprits ils parlent.
I feel all blind are talking to blind.
C'est un dialogue d'aveugles entre eux.
And how can blind lead you anywhere?
Et où vous mènera un guide qui est aveugle?
That's why it is said that through tarka, through rationality, you cannot achieve God.
C'est pourquoi il a été décrit à travers votre rationalité, vous ne pouvez atteindre Dieu.
It is a limited thing.
Votre rationalité est limitée.
But again, this should not become an obsession with you, which is a mental obsession.
Mais de nouveau, il ne faut pas que ceci devienne une obsession pour vous, une obsession mentale.
Like we can say, I'm doing meditation. What is there to do meditation? You can't do meditation, you are in meditation.
À quoi bon faire de la méditation ou méditer en tant qu'action? Soyez en méditation.
Like French may say, I make meditation.
Les Français disent je fais de la méditation.
You can't do that.
Vous ne pouvez le faire.
You are in meditation when you are in thoughtless awareness. When you are in that state, then you are in meditation.
Vous êtes en méditation lorsque vous êtes dans la conscience métamentale.
Now this mental projection business is to be handled very carefully because it comes from a very big giant within us called Mr. Ego.
La projection mentale vient d'un colosse en nous-mêmes qui est Monsieur l'Ego.
That's why it is important to see it clearly and not to be frightened of it.
C'est pourquoi il est important de le voir clairement et de ne pas être effrayé.
Because if you have superego, then you will trouble others. Is not the point. You will be troubled yourself. You'll have pains. You'll have all kinds of body feelings about it. But if it is an ego, others will be troubled by you.
Si vous, n'est-ce pas, le point de l'ego, c'est que vous faites souffrir les
Just
autres
pass it over.
et non vous-même, et donc vous ne vous rendez pas compte. Tandis que si vous avez du super-ego, vous souffrez vous-même.
So, to stop all this useless mental activity, one has to understand that Kundalini must be kept jetting out of your Brahmarandra.
Il faut comprendre que pour maintenir cet état de méditation, il faut que votre Kundalini puisse continuer à sortir de votre Brahmarandra.
By mental projection you cannot raise Kundalini, that you know, you cannot keep it there.
Par la projection mentale, vous ne pouvez éveiller votre Kundalini et vous ne pouvez la garder sur le Sahasrara.
So what technique of the divine you know, you should use that. Keep your Kundalini on a level where it is emerging out of your Sahasrara and your hands should feel the vibration.
Utilisez les techniques par lesquelles votre Kundalini est au-dessus de votre Sahasrara et que vos mains sentent les vibrations.
Now mental projection is a very difficult stuff. So it sounds very enchanting and more sort of one feels that you have been very brave about it.
La projection mentale semble être un sujet très attrayant qui démontre nos qualités particulières.
When you argue with other people and they argue with you and then you win the point, you think you have won the Davis Cup.
Quand on argue, qu'on débat et que dans les jeux oratoires, on marque des points sur son interlocuteur, on pense qu'on est un héros.
But what is the gain?
Mais que gagnez-vous?
Neither you have gained nor the other person. You have gained nothing whatsoever.
Vous n'avez rien acquis, vous ne vous êtes pas enrichi.
So the report should be such that it ends all the reports.
Le rapport doit être tel que tous les rapports sont abolis.
The question should be such that it ends all the questions.
La question doit être telle qu'elle abolit toutes les questions.
And this is what is the technique of the divine which you know about.
Et ceci, c'est cette technique du divin qui vous a été ouverte.
All the inquiries of this nature, if you ask the divine, you become thoughtless.
Toutes les questions absolues que vous posez au sujet du divin vous introduiront à l'état de conscience métamentale.
Why? Why do we become thoughtless when you make any such inquiry?
Pourquoi devenons-nous sans pensée en posant ces questions absolues?
Because the state is important. The state is important and not the mental understanding of your inquiry. It's the state that you achieve is important. Again see the point, state.
Parce que c'est l'état dans lequel nous nous trouvons qui est important et non pas la question spécifique. C'est l'état qui est important.
For example, children live in that state and they are not bothered about inquiries. They think it's stupid.
Les enfants vivent dans la spontanéité et n'ont aucune considération pour des grandes recherches.
Their ways and methods are so simple because they don't believe in all nonsensical difficult things.
Ils sont si simples car ils ne croient pas aux difficultés artificielles créées par le mental.
But for educated people, intellectuals and the kind of people who are here, the habits are there.
Mais pour les intellectuels, les gens soi-disant éduqués et autres catégories qui sont ici présentes, il faut se rappeler que l'ego est là.
Oxford, Cambridge, then John Hopkins.
Mataji énumère les bonnes universités.
I know what to say.
Oxford, Cambridge, Johns Hopkins and some others.
You never found God there, did you? Did you find God there? Did you find your spirit there? So this is a new school into which you have entered and you have to change your methods and ways.
Vous n'avez jamais trouvé Dieu dans ces écoles et maintenant vous êtes entré dans une nouvelle école et il faut changer votre approche.
In India, once Sahaja Yogi had a seminar and they were having a brain trust.
Un jour, les Sahaja Yogis ont organisé un séminaire et ils ont eu un brain trust. Brain trust.
Brain Trust. You were a member of that, and also Mr. Warren, and also Dr. Bargeorgi, and I think Bala. And you too? But I have nothing to say against it as such. It's the childish play of the children, I would say. But you cannot have brain trust.
You mean this seminar?
No. One of the Bombay seminars we had.
In India?
All the great stalwarts of Sahaja Yoga.
I was not there. Just see the way we are there. Very informal. That was a point of clarification.
All the stalwarts from Bombay and had an idea of a brain trust, you see.
Alors, tous les grands piliers de Sahaja Yoga ont eu la brillante idée de former un brain trust.
And they were going round and round and round.
Et ils allaient en cercle vicieux.
But whatever it was, I was enjoying their play, their acrobats.
Mais Mataji dit, ça ne fait rien, c'était comme des petits enfants qui jouent d'une manière enfantine, et moi je regardais leurs acrobaties qui m'amusaient beaucoup.
Now you don't have to trust the brain, you have to trust your spirit.
Quand on dit brain trust, il ne faut pas faire confiance au cerveau, il faut faire confiance au soi.
And this is the new dimension into which you have come, which must be understood in a different light that you have not seen before.
Et ceci est la nouvelle dimension dans laquelle vous avez atterri, et il vous faut la comprendre avec une lumière nouvelle.
Once you realize this, then you will know why so many great prophets were never been to any university.
Quand vous comprendrez comment la connaissance se passe spontanément, vous réaliserez pourquoi tant de grands prophètes n'ont jamais mis les pieds dans une université.
Of course, vice versa is also not true, that those who do not go to university are all realized souls.
Cela ne veut pas dire que vice-versa est vrai, c'est-à-dire qu'il suffit de ne pas mettre les pieds dans une université pour être un être réalisé.
Neither this nor that. Both are not going to take you to God.
Ni ceci ni cela, aucune de ces attitudes ne vous conduira à Dieu.
What is going to take you to God is your own desire to be one with Him.
Ce qui va vous conduire à Dieu, c'est votre propre désir d'être un avec lui.
The Kundalini itself, the desire, she is the desire born. She is going to take you to God.
La Kundalini en vous-même qui représente le désir, c'est elle qui va vous conduire à Dieu.
As I told you before, we have destroyed a lot of it before realization, and after realization also by not maintaining it, we can destroy.
Ainsi que je vous l'ai dit, notre activité destructrice est donner libre cours avant la réalisation, et même après la réalisation, nous pouvons encore détruire beaucoup.
So now, if you have any inquiry, please ask me questions.
Maintenant, sentez-vous libre de poser toutes les questions que vous voulez.
All right, you can ask me. थोडं खा. तुम्ही आईच्या घरी आले, आमचा प्रसाद हा आहे. घ्या. झाली आज पूजा झाली सकाळी. घ्या. माझ्या हजबंडला फार आवडलं तुमचं. He wants to arrange a big program in his organization. फार मोठं ऑर्गनायझेशन आहे त्याचं जीवनचं. ते म्हणत होते. Yes, please.
Tu peux traduire, est-ce qu'en fixant avec l'ajna chakra un grain de beauté, on améliore les vibrations?
Un grain de beauté sur la face de Mataji?
Non, sur n'importe quelle personne.
Okay, then the question is what is.
Et sur ma tête, bien sûr.
How do you say grande beauté en anglais?
Coucou.
Okay. I mean, the question, sorry, Mother, I hope he doesn't understand, it doesn't have much. He said, if in concentrating the Agya Chakra on a specific beauty spot, does one ameliorate the vibration? No?
Si on se fait un point de beauté.
No. Then I asked, if do you concentrate on a point of mother's face? He said, no, in general.
Try by yourself, you see a great beauty of your on you with an ashram, you see.
Madam.
Try it.
No, it's okay. Okay, we have understood the question. It's all
All
right.
right, all right.
On a compris la question.
Yeah.
What he say?
That's a question which is more difficult, madam.
All right, let's have it. Yes, what is he saying?
He asked whether by concentrating on a spot one can influence vibrations, improve vibrations
By Agya? From Agya?
from the Agya point.
Never.
La réponse est jamais. Par
You can
la-
get possessed. You see how,
On peut seulement être possédé.
I'll tell you what, how do the people get these, do you know these tantrikas, how they pick up these bhoots? Do you know how do they manage them?
Vous savez comment les maîtres de la magie noire arrivent à capturer les bouts? Demande Mataji.
They concentrate on some sort of a thing like a flame or something without realization, with their Agya looking at it.
Ils se concentrent sur un point spécifique sans avoir la réalisation et ils le font avec l'Agya.
Now by that pressurizing, what happens, because the Agya chakra is not open very much, it forces to the left or to the right.
Donc ce qui se fait par cette activité sympathique, c'est que l'Agya qui n'est pas ouvert est détourné vers le subconscient ou le supraconscient.
And you get into the collective subconscious
Et la plupart du temps, on va dans le subconscient collectif
or collective supraconscious.
ou dans le supraconscient collectif.
Now the vibrations you get from these is nothing but shaking.
Les vibrations que l'on reçoit de ces provinces donnent un tremblement.
But what happens, like somebody once told me, that one of the Sahajogis he met in Bombay, and suddenly in his presence he became silent.
Quelqu'un m'a dit une fois qu'en rencontrant un Sahaja Yogi à Bombay, il est devenu brusquement silencieux.
Ah, I said, that's it.
Et Mataji
I must find out.
Mataji a dit, voilà, ça c'est le signe d'un être spirituellement évolué, il faut que je le trouve.
And he was the one possessed by Agya. I used to show people Sainath here and all sorts of things he was doing. I never knew.
Mais alors là, je me suis rendu compte que c'était autre chose, que en fait, il montrait Sainatha. Excusez-moi, j'ai pas compris. On a parlé à, oui, non c'est juste, on a parlé à Mataji d'un Sahaja Yogi qui arrivait à rendre les autres silencieux, mais Mataji s'est rendu compte qu'en fait, il utilisait son Agya pour faire une projection de Shirdi Sainatha.
Because that is a possession that comes in, suddenly you go out of your awareness and you become absolutely silent.
Et ce qui se passe, c'est que c'était un homme qui arrivait à induire une possession en autrui par lequel vous deveniez absolument silencieux.
That happens with most of the gurus, you see. What they do is to turn the chakra like that, and by that suddenly you become silent because you are no more there. There's a spirit.
C'est ce que font la plupart des gourous. Ils travaillent sur votre Agya chakra et ils altèrent votre état de conscience. Et par exemple, vous pouvez devenir silencieux, mais ils le font par le médium d'une entité.
But these people end up with epilepsy, you have seen that, or end up in lunatic asylum.
Mais à la fin du processus, vous pouvez avoir soit une épilepsie, soit vous finissez à la maison de fous.
All such people who try these things ultimately do not rise in Sahaja Yoga much.
Tous les gens qui essayent de manipuler les manipulations par l'Agya risquent de finir à l'asile. En tout cas, ils n'évoluent pas dans Sahaja Yoga.
Now, one has to also understand that to achieve peace is not to run away from reality.
On doit comprendre que lorsque l'on recherche la paix, il ne faut pas vouloir fuir la réalité.
Reality itself is peace.
La réalité elle-même est paix.
But if you are on the periphery, then you cannot feel the peace, but if you are on the axis, axis is the peace.
Si vous êtes à la périphérie, vous ne pouvez sentir la paix. Si vous êtes dans l'axe, à ce moment, là est la paix.
But supposing by any chance you find at the periphery there is peace. You are standing at the periphery and suddenly you become peaceful, then that means you are driven out of even the periphery.
Mais si vous êtes à la périphérie, vous sentez une paix anormale, j'entends une paix qui est particulière, ça veut dire qu'on vous a pris encore plus loin que la périphérie.
So one should be very cautious about Agnya Chakra.
Donc il faut être extrêmement prudent avec l'Agya Chakra.
The inquiry about these things start because Agnya Chakra gives you a new experience.
Les gens s'intéressent à travailler avec l'Agya parce que l'Agya Chakra leur donne une nouvelle expérience.
People start seeing light. As St. Paul saw how much bad he has done to the Bible itself.
Par exemple, Saint Paul sur le chemin de Damas, c'était un cas typique de supraconscience.
You see all kinds of things, but what is there to see?
Vous voyez toutes sortes de choses, mais à quoi bon voir?
If you are away from it, then only you see, you are not in it.
C'est seulement quand vous êtes séparé de quelque chose que vous le voyez, vous n'y êtes pas.
So all these experiences should be given up.
Toutes ces expériences vous éloignent de la réalité, du devenir, et il faut les abandonner.
The only experience that is the highest is the experience where you feel the energy going from you in your hands or coming to you from all over. As cool breeze, as Chaitanya Lahari.
L'expérience juste, c'est la plus haute, c'est de sentir cette énergie cosmique de Chaitanya Lahari venir en vous sous forme de vibrations fraîches ou bien être émise de vous, sortir du sahasrara.
Also from sahasrara and from your hands, sometimes you get it on your feet.
On peut le sentir sur tout le corps, même sur les pieds.
And don't try these tricks of concentrating your eyes onto something. You might even at least become a squint, if not anything else. Squint.
Et n'essayez pas de concentrer ces trucs, n'essayez pas ces trucs de concentrer vos yeux sur quelque chose, vous allez finir par loucher.
You have to raise your kundalini through sahasrara. That's the only way you should come up. This is just the window. Don't try to get out of the window, otherwise you'll hurt yourself. You have to get out of the door here.
N'essayez pas, l'agya est une fenêtre, n'essayez pas de sauter par la fenêtre, vous allez vous casser les membres. Sortez par la porte du sahasrara.
All right?
Compris? Oui, oui.
Now, many have asked me, how do you keep the attention above the Agya Chakra? How do you keep it there?
Attention above the Agya. See, there's a Sanskrit saying, Yan neti, neti vachanai nigamo avojus. When you see a thought, just say not this, not this. Because you are realized souls, not before that. Before that this won't work out. Now your kundalini has gone up. You just look at your thoughts and they'll settle down. Then there are questions, fundamental questions that you should ask. Is there God? Ask a question. Questions that are sublime, which are fundamental, absolute. If you ask after realization, again after realization, your attention goes up. Where is your attention? You see, people see vibrations where, mother, should I buy this frock for my daughter or not? See the vibrations.
La question était comment garder l'attention au-dessus de l'agya. Mataji dit, en refusant cette pensée, en refusant celle-ci, et aussi poser votre attention sur des questions absolues. N'utilisez pas les vibrations pour sélectionner le jupon que vous allez offrir à votre fille.
When mother, will I get this job or not? Is it good for me to take this job? All sorts of nonsensical things. You see? All this is not important. Ask for something great. Ask for something sublime. A question which is eternal. Why ask these useless questions? How many times you have been married? How many times you have had children in previous lives? How many times you have had job and unemployed and jobs? And all your lives you have done nothing but this nonsense. Are you going to repeat that even after realization?
Combien de fois dans vos vies avez-vous eu des enfants, des femmes? Avez-vous eu des jobs? Avez-vous été au chômage? Tout ceci n'est pas si important.
Because our attention is there, see, that's why our attention is low.
Et parce que notre attention est sur ces choses que notre attention est si basse.
Ask all the greatest questions of the world. Your attention will be beyond the Sahasrara.
Posez les plus grandes questions qui soient au monde et votre attention sera au-dessus du Sahasrara.
So attention is your slave. Wherever you want to put it, it will go there.
L'attention vous obéit. Elle ira là où vous lui demanderez d'aller.
If you want to go into a dirty lane, you can go. If you want to go to a sublime temple, you can go.
Vous pouvez aller dans un égout, vous pouvez aller dans un temple sacré.
You have to ride your attention.
Mais c'est vous qui devez être sur le dos du cheval.
Still the question remains.
Yes, I'll translate.
Demande-lui si on peut soigner quelqu'un maintenant en
Qui-
pensant à une personne.
She asked whether she can now cure somebody, and if yes, how?
Show what?
Cure, madame.
Yes, yes, you can. Why not? But depends on what disease they have.
Ça dépend de quelle maladie ils ont.
Say for example, you must feel the vibrations. Whatever chakras they are catching, you should see the mantras. And there is the Kundalini. Also on Kundalini you can see, yes, it will be throbbing at that
Tu
point.
as compris?
By putting your hand also, she understands English. That much, isn't it, Malika? Yes. When you put your hand on the patient and that part, for curing, put your left hand and right hand towards the photograph. You can cure. There are so many ways and methods. You can cure just touch. You can cure. Go down.
We should not use the mantra, should we, before realization?
Oh, it has no meaning. You are not connected. Mantra has to be awakened. It has no meaning. It is not awakened. There is no light. What's the use? This is supposing there is no light in it and I take it in the darkness. Will I see it? That we laugh at, but we always do like that. All the time what we are doing is we are doing something that doesn't exist. Can you translate?
Sorry, mother, I was.
The question she asked, should we not use mantras before realization? So I said, without the light in there, supposing I take this one around, will I see anything? It should be enlightened, it should be Jagrut.
La question était, est-ce qu'on peut prendre des mantras dans la réalisation? Mataji a dit, est-ce que ça sert à quelque chose que je promène cette lampe à huile avant d'allumer les flammes? En d'autres termes, il faut d'abord être Jagrut, il faut d'abord être réveillé, il faut être illuminé, il faut avoir la réalisation.
And how will you know also which mantra to be used because you don't know which center it is catching?
Vous ne saurez pas quel mantra parce que vous ne saurez pas quel centre.
No, any other question?
Can I ask a question about chakra, which I had 2 or 3 different reports? I'm not even sure I have the name right. Mahaganesha-pati, is it somewhere here? And what are the aspects and what parts of the body does it affect?
What's its name?
Mahaganapati
Ah.
chakra. She's asking where it exists and what part of the body does it affect and how to treat
Mahaganapati.
it.
Mahaganapati in the Sahasrara, it is at this point, just the opposite of Agya, and it controls your Ganapati, the Muladhara down below. The whole of psyche it controls, I should say.
Le Mahaganesha contrôle tout votre psychisme, tout votre psychisme, le côté gauche plutôt. Et la Muladhara.
You see, whatever is in the chakras, it is represented in the Sahasrara. In the Sahasrara, it is called as Maha, while in the chakras, it is called by the simple name. All right? Because Sahasrara is the universal thing. It is a part of the universal being. The awareness is of the universal being in the Sahasrara. That's why it is Maha.
N'est-ce pas? C'est Ganesha dans le Sahasrara, mais on dit Mahaganapati car le Sahasrara est universel et cela devient donc le grand Ganesha.
For example, this is Vishuddhi chakra, here it becomes Virata.
Par exemple, ici c'est le Vishuddhi et ici c'est Virata, le grand être cosmique primordial.
Here he exists as Sri Krishna, here as Virat.
Là il est Sri Krishna, là il est Virata.
Alright?
When you're working on people and you draw the sign of Ganesha on their palm, is that something that just you do? And if it's something that we can do when we work on people, when should we do it?
You can do it, but do you know why I do it?
That's what I'm asking, brother.
La question c'est quand Mataji fait le signe de la svastika dans la paume de la main, pourquoi le fait-elle? Pouvons-nous le faire?
Here it is on the left side of the Sahasrara. What exists there? Tell me.
Sur le côté gauche du Sahasrara, qui est-ce qui existe? Kali, Sri Mahavira.
What?
Ego.
Ego is gone.
Ah, yes.
And on the right side? Super. So to counteract that, do you understand?
Alors Mataji dit sur la paume gauche, il y a l'ego, n'est-ce pas, de la main, parce que ça se croise au niveau de la guerre. Sur la paume droite, il y a le super-ego. Alors je trace la svastika de Sri Ganesha pour contrebalancer votre ego.
Now, the left side is given the mark of the swastika because it is the left side. Alright?
Le côté gauche, on lui donne la marque de la svastika parce que c'est le côté gauche.
And here it is the cross because it is the right side.
Et à droite, on met la croix parce que c'est le côté droit.
Because the left side becomes, the left swastika becomes the action of cross.
Parce que la svastika, dans sa forme évoluée, devient la croix.
But here it is ego.
Mais à gauche, c'est l'ego.
So the mantra that is said on the left hand side is that please forgive me.
Donc le mantra qu'on dit sur le côté gauche, c'est pardonne-moi.
Means to overcome your ego, you have to say please forgive me.
C'est-à-dire que pour surmonter l'ego, il faut dire pardonnez-moi.
And when you do it on the right hand side, you say that I forgive.
Et sur le côté droit, on dit je pardonne.
It is a double combination.
C'est une double combinaison.
Because Agya Chakra has Ham Ksham, two mantra bija.
Parce que l'Agya Chakra est ambivalent. Et Ham Ksham, il a deux mantras semences.
That is I am and I forgive.
C'est je suis et je pardonne.
So both of them is a double combination. That you draw the left side of the psyche is the swastika. Alright? And in that desire, because the ego is there at the Sahasrara, you say.
Il y a une double combinaison. La svastika à gauche, c'est parce que la svastika représente la psyché du côté gauche, mais également parce que le Sahasrara qui est sur l'hémisphère gauche, le Sahasrara sur l'hémisphère gauche du crâne correspond à l'ego contrôlé par la svastika.
And the right hand, you draw the cross, because that becomes the cross in the right hand, representing the right side, complete right side. But because of the Sahasrara point, you say that I forgive.
Mais la main droite, vous tracez la croix, qui est la forme évoluée de la svastika sur la droite, mais à cause du Sahasrara, donc du super-ego, où vous avez été agressé par les conditionnements, vous dites « je pardonne ».
In action also, see, Ganesha is the one who kills.
Sri Ganesha tue,
He just kills.
il tue.
So you have to say forgive me.
Il faut lui dire « pardonnez-moi ».
But Christ, you have to say that I forgive everyone.
Mais au niveau de Christ, on dit « je pardonne à tout le monde
As he forgave. ».
Comme lui nous l'a montré.
So it's I should say triple combination in a way. Do you understand?
C'est une triple combinaison.
First is the left hand on the Sahasrara. It's a left hand.
Main gauche sur le Sahasrara.
So that is to be established.
Oui.
Then the deity on the left hand has to be, who will be the left hand deity? Will be Christ.
Yes. La déité du côté gauche, ça sera le Christ.
And because he is the forgiving.
Parce que c'est lui qui pardonne.
I'm sorry, Ganesha is the one because he is the killer. I'm sorry, Ganesha. He is the killer. And because he is the killer, you have to say forgive me.
Alors, c'était pas yes.
It's a triple combination.
Il y a une triple combinaison. La déité du côté gauche, c'est Sri Ganesha, car il détruit. Et c'est à lui qu'il faut demander pardonnez-moi.
All right. And the right hand side, just see how it is combined. Right hand side is Christ, who says I forgive. And he is the one who is the killer of ego.
Et le côté droit, c'est le Christ, qui nous apprend à dire je pardonne et qui est celui qui tue l'ego.
So the killing of Ganesha is important, because at this point, if you do not have Ganesha, the killing, you will not say forgive me. Unless and until somebody is going to kill you, you are not going to say forgive me. Can you? So the settling, why cross has taken?
Et c'est l'interaction entre ces deux actions de Sri Ganesha et de Christ qui forment les deux axes de la croix.
Did you follow? Many people ask why it is crossed. It is crossed for this reason.
C'est pour cela que c'est une croix. Parce que ces deux actions se complètent.
Your ego can never be conquered by saying I forgive everyone.
Votre ego ne peut pas être conquis en disant je pardonne à tout le monde.
But for an egoistical man, it is better to tell.
Mais si vous dites à un homme égoïste, dites je pardonne, ça le flatte.
Now if you tell an egoistical man that you say that I forgive all of them, then his ego is pampered, no doubt. But Christ is awakened. The trick, this is the Vidya, this is the Sri Vidya, this is the trick.
Le truc, c'est si vous dites à quelqu'un qui est égoïste, dites je pardonne à tout le monde, il se sent bien, il pardonne à tout le monde, donc son ego se sent bien, mais quand même le Christ est éveillé à ce moment-là.
Now, when to a super ego fellow, if you tell him that you ask for forgiveness, it is his nature all the time asking forgiveness, so he doesn't mind.
Pour quelqu'un du super ego, si vous lui dites demandez pardon, ça ne lui fait rien de demander pardon parce que c'est ce qu'il fait du matin au soir.
If you tell such a person that you forgive others, he'll say, oh, I always forgive, no question, I have the one who's done all bad things, you see. Super ego man, he takes all blame upon himself.
La personne du super ego prend le blâme sur soi-même et il n'a pas de problème à pardonner autrui.
So, for such a man, you have to say that you ask for forgiveness. He's very happy.
Donc si vous lui demandez pardon, ça ne lui pose aucun problème.
But by saying that, you awaken Sri Ganesha.
Mais en faisant cela, Sri Ganesha est réveillé.
So first two things are actually for awakening, and the third thing is befooling.
Donc, il y a un double mode d'action. L'un est pour vous embobiner, et l'autre c'est pour éveiller la déité.
This is the lila.
C'est le jeu.
Otherwise, you see, if you cannot get out key with straight finger, better bend it and take it out. You have to somehow or other see to it that Kundalini comes up.
Si vous n'arrivez pas à ramasser du gui avec le doigt droit, il faut le courber d'une manière ou d'une autre, il faut que la Kundalini sorte.
All right? I'm happy you have asked the question because I had never divulged it to you. What's it now?
I was working on someone the other day and their hands went absolutely ice cold. What does it mean and what do we do
When
about it?
was that?
In Cheltenham, Mother, I met someone, I gave him a really nice
His hands were absolutely cold?
Went ice cold, yes.
His eyes. He must be very low blood pressure. Moreover, if they are numb, then he is out for death.
He felt the cool breeze with it.
You see what I am saying? If it is numb,
Yeah.
numbness is a sign of death, coming death. So be careful with such people. You
Si
tell
les,
them,
mains, si les mains sont très gelées, ça veut dire que quelqu'un a une pression sanguine très basse, et si en plus les mains sont engourdies, très très froides et engourdies, ça veut dire que la mort est imminente.
Like Dr. Date, she wanted to know what is Sahaja Yoga. As usual, he called a patient who was just dying, for a heart patient. So I told that I'll cure her, but she will die. I told him. He could not believe it. When I cured him, he said, now she's all right, she's walking about. I said, she's going to die. She won't live after 2 days. You take it from me. He said, how can you say that? I'm sure. She died. She got cool breeze, everything, she was walking, but she died.
Quelqu'un avec ces symptômes, quoique guéri par Mataji, est mort dans les 2 jours que Mataji l'avait annoncé.
But you need not announce to them. त्याचं सांगायचं की तुम्ही मारायची व्यवस्था करा. पुढच्या मार्गात काय प्रश्न?
I want to ask this, is it necessary to make one guru in your life?
Oh, yes.
And if it is so, I want to know the custom. How do you?
See, Guru is that which makes you meet God. Guru वही जो साहिब मिले. Otherwise the rest of the nonsense is useless. Right? You have to have a Guru. Because only an enlightened light can enlighten another. With light which is not enlightened cannot enlighten another. So a person who takes money cannot be a Guru. A person who lives on your charities is a parasite. A person who has an immoral life cannot be a Guru. So one has to understand a Guru is the one who raises the Kundalini and gives you realization. Otherwise he is not a Guru. That's the only way you should have a Guru. Otherwise you have many bhamtas, as we call them in the world, who are just there, who are interested in your purse. Marathi language is the best to describe them. दासबोधात त्यांनी खूप सांगितलेलं आहे. We have lots of them, tantrikas, this, that, all full of. You have one in Lucknow, Bhutnath. That's the Ganeda Manushya. All actually Rakshasas, real Rakshasas. You can't charge money, you can't, so you must have compassion and love and you should give. How can a Guru take it? I mean, if he lives on your money, then he is a parasite. Definitely. How can he be your Guru? But Guru you should only have when you are seeking God. Otherwise you should not have any Guru. What is the need? You are all right as a human being. But if you want to become Atma Sakshatkari, then you have to have some Guru.
La question était, a-t-on besoin d'un gourou? Mataji a dit oui, car seule une flamme, une bougie qui est allumée peut passer la lumière à une autre bougie. Le gourou est celui qui nous mène à Dieu. Et par gourou, il ne faut pas confondre tous les démons réincarnés qui se prétendent tels. Un gourou doit avoir la compassion et doit avoir le pouvoir de vous mener à Dieu.
Now see, I am their Guru. Naturally I have given them realization. They of themselves have become Gurus now. They can give realization too. But I am their mother. This is a very difficult situation. If mother becomes the Guru, you can imagine. Horrible job.
Mother, in Australia, we had, for this lady, we had an Indian lady who came to Australia, and she had a similar question to ask me, and she said, do I continue to follow the same Guru whose ashram I was visiting in Bangalore? Not this big fellow, but some small ashram. And I said, get your Kundalini awakened first, feel the vibrations, and then you can decide for yourself. And she did that. And she got the cool vibrations. And she asked the question, is he a Guru of truth? Is he a Satguru? And she found out for herself. This is the beautiful part.
You see, all real people know each other. There's no controversy. Like in India we have Gagangarh Maharaj now. I'd never met him before. I never had any idea about him. And a lady doctor came to see me and she said, Mother, I went to see Gagangarh Maharaj. And he said, now Mother has come, why are you coming all the way to the Garh? Why don't you go and see her? So I said, where is she? So he told me that she's in Bombay, she's such and such, you won't see. We all know each other. You see, there's no controversy because truth is only one, isn't it? But he's such a strict fellow that I dare not send anybody to him because he'll break your necks, you know. He's not so kind as I am. And he's very harsh with them. And if you say anything against me, then naturally he gets very annoyed. It's a very, very difficult man, very difficult person. But there are many real gurus. But first of all, why not become yourself your own guru by getting realization? That's the best, as he said.
Very easy. You can just put your feet straight on the floor.
बसा आताच बसा शांत आता होईल तुम्हाला दोघांना तिघांना होऊन जाईल पटकन होऊन जाईल जस्ट पुट युअर हँड्स टुवर्ड्स मी जस्ट लाईक दिस कलाकारांना तर फार जरुरी आहे म्हणजे तत्व होतं वॉट एव्हर इज युअर तत्व यू बिकम ॲब्सेंट पुट युअर टुवर्ड्स मी ऐसे रखते हे तर पारच आहेत मला वाटतं लागते तुमचे हे पारच आहेत जन्मलेच पार असा हो हो ते पारच आहेत मला त्यांना तशीच वाटते तिचं मला वाटतं आहे आत्मथंड का रे अरे ना दोघं जण पार आहेत आपणच आहे अच्छा आप ही अपने गुरु हो जाइए क्या जरूरत है ऐसा वाटतं काय थंड गार गार वाटेल वाटतं yesterday dancing only I raised his kundalini. But let's try. असा हात जरा बसला कारण कला आहे ना फार भावना जास्त सी व्हायब्रेशन्स उशीर होतो तेही सहज झालं नाही तर तुम्हाला मी पकडतानाच आलं सहजोगात जरा आलं ते बरं झालं उशिराने what do you say in that?
Right heart, right Svadhisthana, right Krishna.
Right heart, right Svadhisthana.
Left heart.
आता लक्षात करायला हवं ओव्हर एक्झर्शन आहे तुम्हाला आहे ना what about her? Is she alright? She too has the same thing? Chris, what do you say?
Left Svadhisthana. Left Svadhisthana.
She's left Svadhisthana?
A little bit, not much.
But vibrations are good.
But much stronger vibrations. Left heart.
सर्दी होती क्या आपको बहुत राइट विशुद्धि में सर्दी होती
Qu'est-ce que c'est le bijou du droit?
You will start feeling warm here. यहाँ बोटावती गरम गरम है ना गरम गरम आता है हाथ इस उंगली पर आ रहा है कुछ ये चक्र आपका राइट विशुद्धि थोड़ा पकड़ चला जाएगा ऐसे आ सकता ही इज ऑलराइट इज लेफ्ट टू द राइट
Much better now.
ओव्हर एक्झर्शन आहे तुम्हाला फार ओव्हर एक्झर्शन टू मच फिजिकल हाँ ना शी इज ओके आप पा रहे ठंडक सी हाँ बच्चों को आ रही बट तुम बोले तो नहीं पा रहे तुमचे माझे 4 ग्रैंड चिल्ड्रन पा रहे हाँ ना इजी बेटर हार्ट दॅट्स इट हा हात उजवा हात हात ठेव उजवा हात ठेवा असा असा खाली मनात असं म्हणायचं की माताजी मी आत्मा आहे असं मनात म्हणा मी आत्मा आहे तुम्ही आत्मा शरीर बुद्धी मन अहंकार काही नाही आत्मा परत म्हणायचं आय एम द स्पिरिट हां बेटा त्यांच्या आईचं कसं आहे आईला बरं असतं तुमच्या आई कशा आहे कधी वारल्या
69 ऑक्टोबर 4
काय ना
विठ्ठल
तुम्ही डोळे उठवून त्यांना म्हणा की मी ठीक आहे तुम्ही माझी काळजी सोडा परत जन्म घ्या पार होऊन घ्या माताजी म्हणतात असं 3दा म्हणा त्या All right? Better on the heart. देखे का था गा आता हलत नहीं हाथ पका सुरुवातीला हलत होता better.
Left heart is much better. Right heart is still catching. Right heart is still catching.
What is it as What is?
What is the number?
Yama.
74.
त्या नाही सांग वडील तीनदा त्या नाही सांग आमची काळजी सोडा दोघंही आमची काळजी सोडा परत जन्म घ्या हा बेटर ना
Lady center heart is catching. Bengali है या?
बंगाली आप
हाँ.
आप बंगाली
That's why left Swadhisthana.
They are the worshippers of Kali
And Durga also.
and Durga and वही चक्र पकड़ता है आश्चर्य हाँ ना येते का हातात वाटते काही कात नाही Just on his forehead head
Should they ask the question?
all right ah is it all right you can ask her to ask question in her heart try कसं वाटतं आता हलकं वाटतं एकदम निर्विचार आहे रिलॅक्स हातात थंडी येते का दुसरा हात माझ्याकडे का उजवा हात पूछिए
पूछे माँ आप दुर्गा माता हैं आप साक्षात दुर्गा माता हैं
अरे आ गया
आप थोड़ा विश्वास करना
कुछ तो है ही ये तो सबकी इतने हजारों कुंडली तो नहीं उठा सकती माँ ही उठा सकती पहचानेंगे कैसे सवाल पूछिए हाँ
It is coming, but the moment it comes,
आ गया शंका नहीं करना सवाल पूछ के देखिए बगैर शंका बहुत बड़ी चीज है
you have to recognize these people.
हाँ इजी बेटा बेटा ना raise the right to the left
Right, right.
he's all right no he's left to the right all right better are you feeling any cool breeze in the hand
I always feel sweaty.
that's it sweating you should not now you will not
I
feel
have dancing.
no but you will not feel once it happens to you all right just be careful heart के चक्र पकड़ा हुआ है
When she asked you the question, do I need a guru? It's fun.
You don't need. You need any. You are your own guru. Kundra.
Right heart's better. It's better.
Heart से
It's much better.
आपको अच्छा लग रहा है? इसे कहाँ तक है यार? Thought तो नहीं आ रहा आपके लिए. There's no thought in your mind. Just watch your thoughts. Close your eyes and see. विचार करेंगे.
What to say?
कोई thoughts है क्या? विचार आ रहा है तो आँख बंद करके देखिए. Right. Yes. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. हो गया बिल्कुल निर्विचारता आ गई आप में. एक क्षण भी आदमी निर्विचार नहीं हो सकता. Got it. Sorry. All right. Just see on his head. Just see on top of her head, is it? Sure. All right? He's all right. He's doing well.
She can't face it. She cannot get it.
Recognition, this void in it.
I was saying that I will talk to him, that in this hall we can start a class once a week or something for the children, and we can get some children from outside, and the children of this place must be even training with some concession. We have some children like Oriole and all these little children.
But some outsiders.
We can advertise here and start a school here for some time.
Very good idea. And some outsiders we could advertise for as well.
And get more children to teach Kathak once a week. He can come down with his wife and start a center here.
We can encourage our people to do this and also advertise it outside.
We can do it in this area.
It's an excellent idea.
Good idea.
Good
From
vibration.
Balam and all these places. And this hall he can use it for one day in a week, say
Maybe.
one of the days wherever you think like, Wednesday or in the morning time, perhaps maybe for the children, or in the evening time.
Whatever times he's free, probably.
Evening time is just there.
Daytime is better for
Daytime,
weekends.
on a Saturday.
Saturday is the best time. Because of school and family problems, and parents don't like children.
बरं आहे. कसं वाटलं तुम्हाला? बरं वाटतंय, शांत वाटतं. थोडं इट हॅज टू ग्रो. पण ह्याच्यावर थोडी मेहनत करावी लागते. हे समजावून सांगते आपल्याला.